All right, so we are back to business. All right, so I will talk about a few things related to the way we drive in Australia. Sorry if you heard that already, because I'm a bit lost with my different session recorded. I don't know if I already mentioned it. I don't know if I mentioned it in French, not in English, and such and such. So, one thing I really like compared to the traffic in France, this is a simple thing. In France, we've got something called the right priority. So a vehicle's coming from the right. If you have no marking sign on the ground who's telling you what to do, or if you have a stop or something like that, if you have a vehicle's coming on your right, it's got the priority on you no matter, which is weird, because sometimes you could be in a big road, in the main road, and then on your right you've got a small road, and it doesn't matter. The small road going to have the priority on the big one. So it doesn't really make sense all the time, and there is a lot of crash because of this in France, I'm pretty sure, specifically related to the right priority. Here it's different. There is no left or right priority. It's very straightforward. You've got a main road. I'm on this main road right now. All the road on the left and the right, they have no priority on us. I'm going straight. I'm on the main road. I've got the priority. They will all have a giveaway. And if you arrive to a road which is in the shape of a T, right? If you know what I mean, the shape of a T, and let's say you're coming from the bottom part of the T to join the big road on the top, then you know you don't have the priority. Your road will engage to another existing road, so immediately you don't have the priority. It's very easy to understand. So I like this system better. I know the French work that way, and it's not like, for example, in England, it's not the opposite than France, because they drive the other side of the road. They don't have a sort of automatic giveaway to the left side. It doesn't work that way. So it seems to be only in France. I'm not sure about that. If you are from another country and it's even different than the two different mentioned system, like the French one, the one in Australia, if you have a different system, please comment, let me know what happened. I've been in US. In US, it's a little bit more like in Australia. There is no right priority or left priority per default, like it would be here, like it would be in France, sorry. So, yeah, I think don't like that one in France. I think even the French themselves don't really like it, because it's very on the edge. You have to always looking on your right side if somebody's coming, even if you're on the main road and they are on a smaller road. I don't know, it doesn't sound right to me. Anyway, every country have a different system, and you know, people deal with it. So I'm just curious to see if something else exists, something different than that. That's two different mentioned. If you have another system, I think in Asia, one of the countries have one of the worst system. I don't remember. A small country, they've got cars like we've got in Australia, with the steering wheel on the right side of the car, but they drive they drive also on the right side of the road. I think it is something like that. and it sounds very difficult. You can't overtake. You can't. So I don't know. If you've been in one country with something like that, I think the one I mentioned, it's a small country or an island or something like that, which which sort of compromise with the two systems, which doesn't work. You can't compromise with something like that, but that's apparently what they did. Ooh. So we're going back to the same road I used earlier, like the ring road, which contour, which is doing a detour around Geelong CBD and help us to move away the traffic. So this is this main road here, which is, it's not a motorway. It is a motorway for us, but the reality, it's not really a motorway. A lot of heavy truck today. So this is the exit we took earlier, but this time we're going straight. That's the direction of Carlac, and we will at the next exit we will join the main road for Torquay. So on the direction of Torquay, we've got after so Torquay, Jan-Jack, it's two towns touching each other. After we've got a nice place, it's Anglesey, and further away we've got Lorne, which is quite a few kilometers further away. I guess it's around, I have to double check. Oh, we could maybe see this on the sign, but I think it's almost 100k or something like that from here. And yeah, Lorne, it's a nice ride. It's also nice because you can go coast or you can go inland, and it's a good thing to do both, because inland you've got some amazing mountain road as well. It's pretty cool too. I like both. I prefer the scenic road for the pictures because I like to stop and taking photo, and when you're on a bike it's much easier to find a narrow spot to park the motorbike and not bothering nobody. Then that's not the thing you can do with a car. As soon as you stop, you have to have enough space to not have a part of your car on the road. So yeah, it could be quickly dangerous if not, because it's busy somehow with a lot of tourists, and so the best thing to do, it's going there with a motorbike. Okay, maybe I'm not really neutral in this, but yeah, it's a nice ride as well. So Torquay's got two directions there. I can go on the left side here, or I can keep going on a roundabout to the next exit, which is the Torquay Anglesey Road. That's the one we will take for now. Ooh, there is a fire somewhere. So I just saw a sign about Anglesey, so Lorne should be closer than I said. Let's check here if we can see. No, it's not on there. Must be maybe 80k instead of 100 or something. But both ways, like the scenic road or the inland road, they are very not difficult, but you have to keep your attention on what you're doing. It's not a motorway. It's the scenic road. It's like every scenic road on the coast with turn super ash, left right, going up and down, left right. It doesn't stop. It's enjoyable to ride like that. I think more if you're on your own. If you have a passenger, this make the bike, I mean for the FGR, it make the bike quite heavy to handle, because when you've got a passenger, you've got the top case and the pannier, and all of this is full of equipment and such and such. This make a quite heavy bike to handle. So at the end of the day, you feel it. It's now we will turn left. Alright, if we go straight at this roundabout, we can go to Baron Head and Queen's Cliff, which are some Ocean Grove as well. Very nice place to go. So that's one of the other ride I plan to do with you guys, because it's some short one. That's something I can do during the afternoon for a few hours and record this on a nice day. So I will probably do one of them before Anglesey, because Anglesey is not far away, but straight away, if I've got just a couple of hours time for me to prepare everything and such, and especially if I want to do it in French and English, it means then it takes time. So I need to do my comments twice. I need to stop a little longer here and there. So yeah, and I need to find a way to organize myself with that. And by the way, prove me wrong, because I want to see more English speaker watching my channel than the French speaker, because come on, you are so many more around the world. Why I've got just only few French and not even less English speaker. So yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I can, not because of me, but I'm pretty sure Victoria had a lot to offer for you as a visitor. If you plan to come in Australia, for instance, it's a pretty cool thing to watch, to understand a little bit more about the country first, and make your decision when you're coming in Australia to visit Victoria. Because obviously Australia, it's so big, then many people make the mistake of believing that they will visit Australia in 3 weeks time or something like that. It's not going to happen. You will only travel if you do that, or you stay for a very long period of time, few months, and travel in Australia, like with a bus tour or something like that. Or you decide to focus on one part and not going everywhere. Otherwise you will not really enjoy your trip. It would be only on the road constantly. It's a very big country. It's only people who live in a big country like that, like maybe Russia or like America, can understand what we're talking about. And even in America, it's not so sure you understand what we've got here, because the country is big, but it's also don't have a lot of population in land. As soon as you get out of the coast, it's very it's very quiet in there. And there is a lot to see, so yeah. Riding here, it's a good thing to do. I believe it's a maybe I'm not sure about that, but it's maybe complicated to ride your own bike here, to bring your bike with a boat, which is definitely technically possible. That's not the problem, but I'm not sure about the rule, the legislation here, to be sure your motorbike can ride in Australia. I'm not sure about that, what you need to do. So that's something to really check first, because maybe you can't ride here. You maybe have to do a roadworthy certificate or something. I'm not sure. But it could be complicated, especially if you're going interstate. It's another layer of difficulty. Maybe you can go in one state and not the other one, or such and such. It's something to check first if you plan to ride here. It's maybe better to rent a motorbike, or I don't know. to stay behind this truck. It will be pretty slow if he's heavy. Truck can go very fast here, by the way. I mean, everywhere they can go fast, but the fact the speed limit it's only 100 on the motorway, and that's something people will not like it. They will comment about that, but it seems then truck drivers have a kind of agreement with the police, and they do very often 110, I've noticed, on the motorway. Definitely more than 100. Where with your car you will not do that because you know they can be everywhere and could have an automatic camera somewhere. But it seems then the truck definitely almost all the time over 100, slightly over, not much. But it's also maybe because it's not a reason, but it's not an excuse. It's just like a fact. Australia trained transport is almost inexistent for freight, for business. Everything is on the road here, so trucks have to move. This is a fact. Things moving everywhere around the country, and not much through the train system. As far as I know, I'm not saying this with data, or it's just a fact that I don't see much of a freight train and a lot of truck on the road all the time. So I presume also the country is so big that it's quite complex to organize a train system efficient and fast enough to be relevant. When I came first here to do a trip in Australia, I've been using a train they called, I think, the GAN, and you can go with this train you can go from Sydney to Adelaide, I think. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, because there is 3 lines of old train like that. They are pretty cool. Sorry, a bit noisy this track. They are pretty cool train, old school train, comfortable, very nice, with shower in there, with a restaurant obviously in there, with also I remember they had a gaming room, like where you can play on machine and stuff like that. So very, very cool, entertaining. But we had an adventure in the adventure when we took it, because a train on the line where we've been, but not the train we used, another one on the line, like 600 or 700 kilometers away from us, another train break down. And this train was on a unique line. Somehow they've got some area with unique line for maybe 1,000 kilometers. It means that if something happened on the line, there is nothing you can do. You have to move. You have to move back, because you can't overtake. You can't pass the train. So yeah, it was an adventure. As usual in Australia, it ended up very nicely, because we had a delay of something like 10 hours because of this. And what they did, they organized a meal in the middle of nowhere where we stopped the train, and they make a sort of outside camp kitchen and did an amazing meal for everyone. Even if some of us maybe didn't have a meal in their ticket or something, they maybe have only a sandwich with them or something, but we all have a very nice meal, very well organized. And and the next day we move on, and we arrived something like 12 hours late, but we enjoyed the trip, and we've been amazed with what we've done and what we saw, so it was pretty cool. So I'm doing an experience now. I'm not sure if what I'm doing is the best. We passed the two different beaches that I want to show you, but I bet here we're going down to a beach that I don't know, or a creek or something. So let's having a look. Let's see if we've got a nice view around, because we are very close to the water here. A bit after this hill, I just want to avoid a place where I have to ride on the sand, or try to not go that way. So okay, Surfer Beach, so we probably have no view around. Yeah. So no, it's not for us. I can walk down to the beach and show you the area, but that's not what I want to do. So let's go back. Maybe one day I will come here and doing some video with the camera, but I don't need to do this today. I know the spot now. When we are on the hill here in Janjak, Torquay, we could see the sea, and you could see some surfer, and they are probably this surfer here. So you saw when I filmed this part so you can check back. When I was on this little car park with all the surfer, there is a lot of people who use a small van. Then they equip a small van with a bed and a place for the surfboard and such. But very basically, not a big business thing, you know. There's a very simple way, and they do surfing around. So sometimes they could be local, but they sleep one night somewhere, and the next morning they are early in the morning to surf, and can go for a weekend. And yeah, so there is also a lot of tourists who do that, but there is also some local who have a little van just on purpose, just for that. Because yeah, why not? If you like surfing and you're looking for big waves, and it means, and sometimes you have to be there quite early in the morning. If you are far away, it's hours of driving for maybe only an hour of surfing. So it's better to be equipped and stay on a place and having a good time. So that's what they do. After, tourists also like this sort of little van, but more like a camper van, and they stay and move to town and do the, 1 year in Australia. They've done a kind of visa which is very appropriate for this working holiday visa. So people can work and can do the fruit picking and jobs like that. Then Australia farmer desperately need some people to help them in farm and place like that. So it's a good win-win situation for Australia. People have a flexible visa. They can stay, I think, a year with this visa, and it doesn't cost as much as a another visa, working holiday visa, very difficult, very easy to get instead of a working visa, which is quite more difficult. It's based on your I'm going this way. It's based on your skills, basically. If a company needs you for something, okay, you can get this sort of visa, but it's not very easy to get. So let's go that way. So at the end of this road, there is a surfing club, which is a rescue. There we go. Which is a place where they've got the people who do the rescue if something happened in the sea, and so a good friend of ours, a couple of friends are in this. They are lifesaver, and they also in a competition of surf boating. I invite you to have a look online if you can find some video about that, because it's absolutely amazing. It's a sort of boat then people use to race. They are basically it's a roaring boat, but they use the waves to get fast back to the beach. So basically you try to surf the waves with a boat which is 7-8 meters long. It's not really made for that, but they do it very well. It's amazing. And they are 8 on board or something like that, so absolutely amazing. We'll do a little pause here so I can show you a bit of the coast. Right, so keep my helmet so you can still hear me. Look like an idiot, but at least the microphone has been attached into the helmet, so you can see that's a nice sunny day today. It's a very nice blue sky. There is a few surfers, not many waves, not as big as they could be here usually. Yeah, I guess it's coming up. So it's a very popular place. This beach can be busy, the one here and the one just behind. At the end of this creek, there is another beach there, very nice also. More, maybe more, I don't know, more attractive for the family or something. Alright, I will do a pause for now. We'll get back to you in a moment.